I'm only dating you until my ex gets jealous, she admitted 3 months in. I replied, what a coincidence. Then I started seeing her best friend. In the end, everyone got what they wanted, just not in the way they expected. My name's Ryan. I'm 31. I work in commercial real estate analysis, and I live in a mid-rise apartment downtown in Charlotte. My life is structured. Gym at 6 a.m., office by 8:30, spreadsheets and site visits all day, home by 7. I'm not flashy, but I'm stable. I pay my bills on time, I cook most of my meals, and I don't play games. 3 months ago, I started dating Chloe, 27. She works in social media marketing, always on her phone, always documenting something. We've been official for just under 3 months when this happened. We weren't living together, but she spent most nights at my place. Toothbrush in my bathroom. A drawer in my dresser. That kind of thing. From the beginning, there was a shadow in the room. Her ex, Tyler. They'd broken up about 6 months before we met. According to her, he was emotionally unavailable, commitment-phobic, and obsessed with his freedom. According to her Instagram, he was still very much alive in her orbit. Old photos still up. Mutual friends commenting. The occasional late-night, accidental mention of his name. I clocked it. I just didn't react. Chloe has this way of speaking that feels like a performance. Everything is slightly exaggerated. Every emotion dialed up. When she tells a story, she watches your face to see if you're impressed. If you're not, she adjusts. About 2 months in, I noticed a pattern. She'd post photos of us at nice restaurants, tag the location, angle the shot so my watch was visible. Not subtle. When I asked why she suddenly wanted couple pictures after weeks of saying she hated PDA, she shrugged and said it was for memories. Then one night, 3 months in, we were sitting on my balcony. She'd had 2 glasses of wine and was scrolling through her phone. I saw Tyler's name pop up in her notifications. She smirked. I asked what was funny. She looked at me, tilted her head slightly, and said it. I'm only dating you until my ex gets jealous. No laugh. No, just kidding. Just eye contact. And that's when I realized this wasn't a relationship. It was a strategy. I nodded slowly and said, what a coincidence. She didn't understand what I meant. Not yet. She blinked at me when I said it. What a coincidence. She laughed lightly, like I just made a cute joke. What does that even mean? I didn't answer right away. I just looked at her. 3 months in. Toothbrush in my bathroom. A drawer in my dresser. Her heels by my door like she belonged there. Then I stood up. What are you doing? She asked. Getting you an Uber. Her expression shifted from amused to irritated in about 2 seconds. Are you serious right now? Completely. Ryan, I was joking. You weren't. She scoffed. Oh my God, you're so insecure. No, I'm efficient. I walked inside and grabbed her overnight bag from the bedroom. I didn't throw it. I set it by the door. You said you're only dating me until your ex gets jealous. That's not a joke. That's a plan. I'm not participating in it. She crossed her arms. You're overreacting. I was being honest. Most guys would appreciate that. Most guys might. I don't. Her voice got sharper. So you're just kicking me out? Yes. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was matter of fact. You're unbelievable, she snapped. It's been 3 months. You can't handle a little truth? I can handle truth. I don't entertain disrespect. She stared at me like she was waiting for me to laugh and say relax, sit down. I didn't. My phone buzzed with the Uber confirmation. Your ride's here in 3 minutes. You're insane, she said, grabbing her bag. No, I just listened the first time. She walked toward the door, then turned back. You're going to regret this. I doubt it. She left without slamming the door. That almost surprised me more than anything else. I locked it behind her, took her toothbrush out of the bathroom, put it in a small plastic bag, and left it on the hallway table in case she tried to come back for it. Then I sat down on the couch and poured myself a glass of water. 3 months. And just like that, the strategy ended. Or at least, that's what she thought. The second the door closed behind her, I blocked her. Phone number first. Then Instagram. Then WhatsApp. Clean. Immediate. No suspense. Not out of anger. Out of clarity. If someone tells you you're a temporary placeholder in their plan, you don't negotiate your role. You exit the script. I poured myself a glass of water and sat down. The apartment felt quieter already. No buzzing phone. No incoming theatrics. About 15 minutes later, my phone lit up. Unknown number. I let it ring. Then a text from the same unknown number. Wow. Blocking me? Mature. I didn't respond. Another text. You're proving my point. You're intimidated. Still nothing. Then came the Instagram follow request from a burner account. 0 posts. No profile picture. I declined it. 5 minutes later, she posted a story. I couldn't see it directly, but a mutual friend sent me a screenshot. Some men can't handle strong women. Selfie. Tight black dress. Smirk. I noticed 2 things immediately. First like, Tyler. Second like, Emma. That caught my attention. Emma doesn't like posts quickly. She's not reactive. She observes. Blocking Chloe wasn't emotional. It was strategic. No access means no performance. No reaction means no leverage. And if she was using me to get to her ex, she just lost her primary visual aid. The next morning, I got a call from Emma. I let it ring once. Then I answered. Hey, she said calmly. I heard what happened. Did you? Chloe's spiraling. That tracks. There was a small pause. You handled it decisively. I don't entertain additions. She laughed softly at that. She told me what Chloe said, Emma continued. That you couldn't handle being second choice. I leaned back in my chair. Second implies I'm competing. Emma didn't respond immediately. Then she said something that shifted everything. You know she only said that to test you, right? No. She said it because she believed it. Another pause. Maybe, Emma said. But she didn't expect you to walk away. I smiled slightly. That's the problem. And that's when I realized something important. Chloe might have been running a strategy. But Emma? Emma was running an assessment. Emma didn't call to defend Chloe. That was the first interesting thing. She didn't say you overreacted. She didn't say give her another chance. She didn't even try to frame it as a misunderstanding. Instead, she asked questions. So you blocked her immediately? Yes. That's bold. It's clean. There was a quiet hum on her end of the line, like she was pacing or thinking. Chloe's not used to that, she said finally. Used to what? Consequences. I didn't respond. Emma continued. She thought you'd argue. Or try to prove you were better than Tyler. That you'd compete. I'm not applying for a role, I said. Emma let out a soft laugh. Yeah, that's what I figured. There was a beat of silence. Not awkward. Just measured. Then she said something that didn't sound accidental. You know she told Tyler about you before she told most of us, right? That got my attention. Meaning? Meaning she wanted him to know she was dating someone stable. Successful. Not one of her usual guys. So I was a portfolio upgrade. Pretty much. I leaned back in my chair. And how's that working out for her? Not great. Emma explained that Tyler had started responding more to Chloe's posts once we started dating. Not messages. Just reactions. Likes. The occasional vague reply. Enough to keep her hooked. Breadcrumbs. And every time he reacted, Chloe doubled down. More photos. More public displays. More exaggerated captions. You leaving short-circuited the whole thing, Emma said. Good. There was another pause. You don't seem angry. I'm not. You don't seem hurt either. I processed quickly. Emma exhaled quietly. Chloe's been telling everyone you couldn't handle being second choice. I smiled slightly. If I was second, I wouldn't have left. Emma didn't argue that. Instead, she shifted the conversation in a way that felt intentional. Can I ask you something personal? Depends. If she hadn't said that, would you have stayed? That was the first real question. I thought about it for a second. If she believed I was a placeholder, eventually something else would have exposed it. I just got the preview early. Emma was quiet for longer this time. Then she said, almost casually, "You're not what I expected." And that's when I started to realize something. This wasn't just Chloe's story unraveling. It was evolving. After that call with Emma, I didn't reach out again. I didn't need to. Chloe, however, did. 3 days after I blocked her, she tried again from a new number. I didn't answer. I let it go to voicemail. The message was different this time. Not angry. Not sarcastic. You really just disappeared. That's kind of cowardly, Ryan. Cowardly. Interesting. She continued. Tyler saw that we stopped posting. He asked if we broke up. Do you know how that makes me look? There it was. Not how it made her feel. How it made her look. I deleted the voicemail without responding. Later that night, Emma texted me. She's losing it. Define losing it. She posted another picture with some random guy from work. Caption about moving on. Tyler didn't react this time. That almost made me laugh. So now she's escalating. Pretty much, Emma said. But it's not landing. I pictured Chloe refreshing her story views, waiting for Tyler's name to appear at the top. When it didn't, she'd try something louder. That's how people like her operate. External validation as oxygen. Emma called again later that evening. She's mad at you, she said. That's expected. But she's also confused. About what? About why you didn't chase her. I leaned against my kitchen counter. She assumed you'd compete. Or at least try to win. Win what? Exactly. Emma was quiet for a second. You know what's funny? What? She told Tyler you were obsessed with her. I laughed out loud this time. Obsessed people don't block access. Emma laughed too. Yeah, that's what I said. There was a shift in tone after that. Less reporting, more conversation. Emma started asking about my job, my routine, what I actually do outside of being Chloe's strategy. She listened, really listened, and that's when something clicked. Chloe used people to provoke reactions. Emma studied people to understand them. Very different skill sets. Before we hung up, Emma said something that stayed with me. You know, if she hadn't tried to make someone jealous, none of this would have happened. I replied calmly. It still would have. It just would have taken longer to show. And that's when I realized something. Chloe wanted Tyler to get jealous. Emma wanted clarity. And I was no longer interested in being anyone's instrument. But that didn't mean the story was over. It just meant the players were changing. A week passed. Chloe escalated. First, it was the random coworker in her stories. Then a dinner photo with a caption about choosing men who pursue. Then a cryptic tweet about never begging for the bare minimum. I saw none of it directly, but Emma kept me updated. Not because I asked, because she found it fascinating. Tyler hasn't reacted to anything in 4 days, she told me one evening. So the strategy's failing. Spectacularly. Apparently, Tyler had started dating someone new. Quiet girl. Private account. No drama. No public competitions. Chloe was losing leverage. And the more she lost leverage, the louder she got. At this point, Emma and I were talking almost daily. Nothing dramatic. No flirting. Just conversation. She'd call on her drive home. We'd talk about work, family, random observations. She'd tell me stories about Chloe from college. Patterns. Cycles. She's always needed someone watching, Emma admitted once. Watching or wanting? Both. There was a pause. You really don't miss her? I considered that carefully. I missed the version I thought I was dating. Not the one who admitted I was temporary. That seemed to land. Then one night, everything shifted. Emma called later than usual. She found out we've been talking, she said. How? She saw my call log when I left my phone on the table. Oh, she's furious. At me? At both of us. That was predictable. She thinks I'm betraying her. You are. Emma laughed softly. I guess I am. Then she added something that wasn't light. She told me you were just trying to make her jealous now. That made me smile. I don't need to make anyone jealous. I know. There was a long pause. Then Emma said quietly. She also said you'd come crawling back once you realized I'd never date you. Interesting. And what did you say? Emma hesitated. I said she doesn't know you very well. That was the first moment the dynamic fully changed. Chloe thought she was orchestrating reactions. But she never considered what would happen if the audience started talking to each other. And that's when I made my next decision. Not impulsive. Not emotional. Intentional. If Chloe was comfortable using me as a tool, I had no problem rewriting the board. I didn't rush it. That's the part that matters. If I had suddenly started dating Emma the day after I kicked Chloe out, it would have looked reactive. Petty. Performative. I don't do performative. Emma and I kept talking. Coffee once. Then again. Always in public. Always simple. No secrecy. No dramatic tension. She wasn't like Chloe. She didn't need to be the loudest person in the room. She asked questions and actually waited for answers. One afternoon, about 2 weeks after everything blew up, Emma said something direct. You know this is going to make her lose it. If what does? If we keep doing this. We were sitting at a quiet cafe. Not a trendy rooftop. Not somewhere you'd stage a story post. I took a sip of my coffee. I'm not doing this to make her lose it. I know, Emma said. That's why it works. That line stuck with me. Because it was true. Chloe thrived on reaction. Drama. Visible competition. Silence unsettled her. Replacement destabilized her. But calm replacement? That was something she didn't know how to fight. Later that week, Emma and I went to dinner. Again, nothing flashy. No tags. No curated lighting. Halfway through the meal, Emma's phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Smirked slightly. What? She just posted a story about loyalty. I raised an eyebrow. Subtle. Very. Emma flipped her phone toward me. The caption read, Some people will smile in your face while plotting behind your back. No names. No direct references. Just bait. Is she watching you? I asked. Constantly. And that's when Emma did something deliberate. She picked up her phone, opened her camera, and took a simple photo of the table. 2 coffee cups. Nothing else. No faces. No tags. She posted it with one word. Peace. Within 30 seconds, Chloe viewed it. Then Tyler viewed it. Emma locked her phone and set it down. You're not worried? I asked. About what? The fallout. She shrugged. She started this game. I leaned back in my chair. And now? Emma smiled. Now she gets to watch someone else win without competing. That was the first time I realized something clearly. Chloe wanted jealousy. Tyler wanted attention. Emma wanted honesty. And I wanted alignment. What none of them realized yet was that this wasn't revenge. It was selection. Chloe didn't explode immediately. That would have been predictable. Instead, she tried subtle first. Emma told me Chloe invited her to brunch that Saturday. Just the two of them. No group setting. No audience. You going? I asked. Of course, Emma said. I'm curious. They met at one of those aesthetic cafes Chloe loves. Marble tables. Overpriced lattes. Strategic lighting. Emma called me afterward. She opened with this. Emma said, I can't believe you'd even entertain him. Entertain. Like I was a hobby. Emma stirred her coffee while recounting it. I asked her what she meant. She said you were clearly using me to get back at her. That made me laugh. Projection is powerful. I know, Emma said. She kept saying you blocked her because you were hurt. That you're fragile. That you'll fold eventually. Fold into what? Apologizing. For what? Exactly. Emma went quiet for a second. She also said something else. What? She admitted she didn't think you'd actually leave. She thought you'd compete harder once she said that. So it was a test. Yes. I leaned back against my couch. And how'd she take the coffee post? Not well. Apparently, Chloe had been checking Emma's story views obsessively. When she saw me view it from my private account, she asked Emma directly if we were seeing each other. What did you say? Emma didn't hesitate. I said yes. That was the moment everything shifted. Chloe's entire dynamic depends on being the center of motion. The catalyst. The spark. Now she wasn't the spark. She was the spectator. That night, she texted Emma something long. Accusations. Betrayal language. Claims that I was manipulating her friend group. Emma forwarded me one line in particular. He's only talking to you to hurt me. I stared at it for a second. That assumption says more about her than about me. Emma replied simply to Chloe. Not everything is about you. And that's when the chaos started. Chloe posted another story. This time less vague. Funny how loyalty disappears when a man gives attention. No names. But the timing was obvious. Tyler viewed it. Didn't react. Emma didn't respond. I didn't acknowledge it. And that's what unsettled her most. Not anger. Not retaliation. Indifference. Because for the first time, she wasn't orchestrating the board. She was reacting to it. And she's never been good at that. Chloe didn't call me. She didn't text me. She didn't try to reach out from a new number. That would have meant acknowledging I still mattered directly. Instead, she went after Emma. According to Emma, the group chat exploded first. Accusations. Screenshots. Long paragraphs about betrayal and girl code. Girl code apparently includes using your boyfriend to provoke your ex, but not allowing your best friend to date him after you publicly discard him. Interesting hierarchy. Emma handled it calmly. She didn't argue. Didn't defend. She simply said, you said you were only dating him to make Tyler jealous. So what exactly did I steal? That question didn't get answered. Instead, Chloe escalated. She showed up at Emma's apartment unannounced. Emma told me about it afterward, voice steady but amused. She demanded to know if you and I had slept together. Have we? Not yet, Emma replied evenly. Yet, I repeated. Emma laughed softly. She was trying to get a reaction. I didn't give her one. Apparently, Chloe paced around Emma's living room, ranting about loyalty and optics and how this would ruin her narrative. That phrase stood out. Narrative. Not heart. Not feelings. Narrative. She said you were calculated, Emma added. That you waited for the perfect opportunity to get revenge. I shook my head. I didn't need revenge. She disqualified herself. Emma was quiet for a moment. You know what really upset her? What? That you blocked her first. That makes sense. She's used to being the one who leaves. Exactly. The control dynamic flipped the second I didn't chase. A few days later, something happened that none of us expected. Tyler messaged Emma. Not Chloe. Emma. The message was short. Is he actually seeing you? Emma showed me. I raised an eyebrow. What did you say? The better question is why you care. Tyler never replied. That was the moment the board fully shifted. Chloe wanted Tyler jealous. Tyler wanted attention. Emma wanted clarity. And I wanted someone who wasn't performing for an audience. What Chloe didn't realize yet was this. She succeeded. Her ex got jealous. But not because of her. Because she lost leverage. And the one thing she never calculated was what would happen when the placeholder stopped playing along. And chose differently. The ending didn't explode. It deflated. 2 days after Tyler messaged Emma, Chloe posted nothing. No quotes. No indirect jabs. No curated captions about growth or loyalty. Silence from her is louder than any rant. Emma and I kept things simple. No big announcements. No stage photos. We didn't need to weaponize it. The irony was already doing the work. About a week later, Chloe finally broke. Not to me. To Emma. She sent a voice message at 1:13 a.m. Emma played it for me the next day. Her voice wasn't sharp. It wasn't performative. It was irritated in a way that sounded almost exposed. She said, "You don't even like him. You're just doing this to hurt me." Emma paused the recording there and looked at me. Projection again. She played the rest. Chloe continued, "He only dated me to get to you. I see it now. That's why he didn't fight. That's why he left so easily." I laughed once. That's convenient. Emma nodded. She needs it to be a game. Otherwise, she has to admit she miscalculated. And that was the truth. Chloe built the situation around manipulation, around optics, around provoking Tyler. She never considered the possibility that someone would take her words at face value. She said she was dating me until her ex got jealous. She admitted I was temporary. I simply agreed and chose someone who wasn't running a strategy. A few days later, Tyler unfollowed Chloe. No announcement. No drama. Just gone. Chloe posted a vague quote about choosing peace. Emma didn't react. Neither did I. Eventually, the group chat calmed down. The tension dissolved into awkward neutrality. People stopped picking sides because there was nothing to fight over anymore. Emma and I didn't rush anything. We didn't need to. There was no performance to maintain. Chloe wanted jealousy. She got it. Tyler wanted attention. He lost it. Emma wanted honesty. She found it. And me? I wanted someone who meant what they said. In the end, everyone got what they wanted, just not in the way they expected.